It's minicamp and OTA season, and today we're looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars and getting another look at Travis Hunter, catching ball, work some drills, and everything else. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at practice every day. Rookie camp, minicamp, OTAs, training camp, your rookies, what your players are doing behind the scenes, those quarterback battles, those guys are drafting in fantasy football soon. Click that button. You need to know what these players are doing behind the scenes. 6.5 minutes here. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball, but there he is. There he is. Indoor practice with this one. Got Parker Washington there. Hanging out between drills. Here we go. Looks like more between drills. A little dap there. Chilling. Jaguars practice has been going pretty hard, you see. Here we go, going through some drills here. Boom, getting out there. Getting the grab. There's another one. Just in between drills, getting things ready to rock and roll. Here's more on Travis Hunter. We dancing a little bit. We dancing some more. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments below. There we go. Just very chill in practice. Very chill in practice. Now we're outside. Now we're outside. Brian Thomas Jr. We got some routes coming in. Boom. Coming in. Boom. Making the catch. Coming over the middle. Making the catch. And solid. A little pitch and catch. Between, or starting off the practice more than likely. Or between drills. Another one. Coming back to the ball. Getting the grab. Watch his routes here. Getting it. Pitch and catch should look like pitch and catch. Good break on that one. Good break on that one. Crosser, a little mesh. There we are. There we are. Working the cones. Brian Thomas Jr. with them. Teammates. Very interesting wide receiver duo here that we're going to be seeing in Jacksonville. Very interesting duo. Boom. Something happening up there with Brian Thomas Jr. There we are. On looking to drill. Waiting for our turn. Brian Thomas Jr. there. Brian Thomas Jr. Looking thick. Looking thick. Looking strong. Look at that. Just tossing it. We got an arm on him. Getting things stretched out. Warm-ups. Travis Hunter. I look at him just different because it's a two-way player. So I'm looking at him as an asset to the Jaguars that's more than just a wide receiver. Like, two-way player. Like, obviously, we're starting off playing more wide receiver than DB. That's been indicated. I would say indicated. More indicated than said throughout the interviews. But still, there's a void there for him to fill there. And third down moments, other moments on defense, we step in. Then we're just going to build out through that. Brian Thomas Jr. is the man, though. The deep threat. He's going to be the dude to watch in this offense as Travis Hunter acclimates to the NFL game. Travis Hunter, short to intermediate, deep ball. Brian Thomas Jr., though, with that 4.3 speed, those wheels, that nasty release package, breaks off routes instantly. He's fierce when breaking off routes, very assertive at the catch point and breaking off routes, creating that separation, a very aggressive route runner. Travis Hunter being paired with a Brian Thomas Jr. is really going to help Travis Hunter over the long term as he acclimates to the NFL game, to what the Jaguars want. It's going to help him with his route running. Here's him in coverage. There's him in coverage. It's looking solid. And the thing is, they're going to be able to deploy him in multiple aspects, both sides of the ball. And then that's going to be a different look compared to most players. Most players are learning one position. Most players just have time devoted learning that one position. So honestly, maybe you should give him a little bit more grace compared to those players. Allow him more time to develop, acclimate to the game. A very talented prospect, but in a different light because we're talented in two different positions where that's a lot to download for a rookie. That's a lot to figure out for a rookie. Different speed of the game on both sides of the ball. There was a lot of questions on his route running here at practice. The drifting does come up on some of the tape. However, if you notice, you look at the turf here, it gets beat up in some of these clips. It's beat up, like you see the chunks of dirt, chunks of grass. Some of it was raining in Jacksonville. You see, if you look at Trevor Lawrence, you see some of that slippage coming in or the dirt kicking up as he's just rolling out, not even full speed. The drills aren't 100% in full speed all the time. You have to take things with a grain of salt. Brian Thomas Jr. is the man in this offense, and Travis Hunter is going to be playing alongside him. Travis Hunter has potential in this offense, but I think a lot of people are jumping the shark one way or the other. I think a lot of people are looking for the downfall, and I think there's a lot of people expecting Justin Jefferson. And if you're expecting Justin Jefferson, you got to understand that there's levels to that game, and a Justin Jefferson comes once every so often. I can understand having FOMO for that because this is a rookie drafted very high, that's very decorated, 5-star recruit coming out of high school, killed it at the FCS level, killed it at Colorado, played on both sides of the ball, looking good. But Justin Jefferson, those top-end wide receivers like a Jamar Chase, different game. Brian Thomas Jr., though, excelled as a rookie with Trevor Lawrence, good getting downfield, excelled with other quarterbacks, 4.3 speed. He's going into his second year. He looks like a proven vet out there. One of the top wide receivers in a stacked wide receiver class. Would more than likely be the wide receiver one in this year's class. It'd be him versus T-Mac. And we're looking at this, and I look at Travis Hunter as a two-way player, which is something you don't normally look at. And I look for him to make an impact on both sides of the ball, and that's going to be over time. That's going to be over time. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to help Travis Hunter immensely. It's just, he's going to help him. He does not have to be the guy on the offensive side of the ball. He can just grow into the role. He can grow into being playing on the opposite side of Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to take a lot of coverage off of him to where Travis Hunter can just grow into that spot, use what he did at Colorado, and just create separation and just develop. Get into that rookie ramp-up period, ramp up into being that NFL player that your upside is there for. That being said, he's still a solid player. And the one thing you want to notice in a lot of his clips, no gloves. No gloves. Steady, solid hands. This is a very skilled, technical player that excelled on both sides of the ball, that's looking to make a major impact. The Jaguars are killing two positions here with one player. And I think him with Brian Thomas Jr., I think that's going to be money. I think this is going to help Trevor Lawrence. I think Travis Hunter has potential to put up very good numbers, especially as we get acclimated. Give rookies time to acclimate. When you're looking at Brian Thomas Jr., that's the man. That's the man. That is the wide receiver. That is the X factor for this team. That's going to be the X factor for Travis Hunter because that's going to allow him to get time to develop without having the expectations of doing more. And that's just going to allow him to hit his upside. This is a good wide receiver to learn from. Brian Thomas Jr., solid release package. So you're going to get some of that release package into Travis Hunter's game. Very assertive and aggressive breaking off routes. You're going to get some of Brian Thomas Jr. into his game. Very aggressive at the catch point, which I'm not saying he's bad at any of those things, but Brian Thomas Jr. is a different flavor compared to most wide receivers. That speed ain't going to come to Hunter. That's just pure speed from Brian Thomas Jr., but how he plays the game, that assertiveness, the technicalities of how he gets off the release, gets downfield, that's only going to add to his game. So what you believe with Travis Hunter, there's more to come. There's more to get better out of him. Like, Brian Thomas Jr. is a top flight prospect that I think people overlook when they think about him among the top flight prospects. And he put up the numbers last year. But this is a top flight prospect that you could be getting more for years to come. And it's an expensive asset in Dynasty Fantasy Football. So isn't Hunter. I think this is going to help Trevor Lawrence immensely. I think he's going to help Trevor Lawrence. I think this is going to help this offense. We got more competition in the backfield now. We got more explosiveness on the team all over. That being said, I'm excited to see what the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to do. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.